Let's face it, company culture is not just a buzzword today. Employees around the world are starting to interview their employers to make sure that the culture and the engagement of the company is where they want it to be. And if they get the job and they decide that it's not, they have no problem with quiet quitting or leaving an organization. This can cost you and your team millions of dollars, not to mention time, money, and energy. My name is Natalina Nastradine. I'm the CEO and founder of Rise Up For You, and we work with corporations around the world to enhance company culture, enhance leadership and team performance by teaching the very skills that are going to help you and your team thrive and build a culture of excellence. You know, one of the biggest challenges that we see today, and I'll be honest, we are actively working with CEOs and professionals around the world, and we tend to hear the same thing. Too many companies and too many leaders around the world are trying to create a great company culture, but they're only utilizing one aspect of culture out of three major pillars that are necessity. So in today's video, I'm going to break down for you the Rise Up For You 3-step strategy to creating an amazing culture that is unstoppable, a culture that is sustainable, and a culture that is not simply cosmetic. Let's jump in. Step number 1 to creating an amazing company culture is what we call the foundational stage. One of the biggest mistakes that we see is companies that are trying to create a culture without doing the foundational basic work. The work of truly understanding what your values are, what you stand for, what your mission is, and hiring based off of those values and the culture that you want. All too often, we see companies that are just hiring people based off of demand. Maybe they need to fill a seat. Maybe they have urgency is getting somebody in that role, that they overlook the actual values of the company and the culture that is needed. And as you know, and you might have experienced this, quickly your employees can turn over because it's not what they signed up for. So the foundational phase number 1, is getting very, very clear on what your company values are, what your mission is, and who is the who that you should be hiring that fit your values and your mission. That is phase number 1. That is a critical phase. Now, it's really important that your values and your mission, they don't just become a poster on a wall, but they actually become activated in your company on a daily basis. That means that your team is living and breathing your values. If I were to pick a team member randomly and ask them what the values are, they would be able to say them because they are actively exercising them on a daily basis. And to make sure that you have the right people on your team, you're going to want to use these values in every stage of the employee process. That means that before they even get the job, hiring based off of these values, asking questions in relation to these values, and really making sure that your people of the team are right in alignment with your company vision and where you are going. Phase number 2, this is what we call the experiential phase. Now that you've got the team member on board, they're the right fit for your culture, they match your values, how are we keeping them engaged? I think we can all agree that in today's world, every industry is ultra competitive, meaning that more and more opportunities are coming up for employees. Employees can work remote. They can build their own side hustle. There's opportunities that are absolutely limitless today. So how are we going to make sure that our employee stays engaged and stays loyal to our company? This is really critical. The experiential stage is the stage of a consumer. So think about it this way. If I have a company and I'm offering a product, I want to make sure that that customer stays with me as long as possible and they keep buying the product. There's no difference when it comes to your employees. How are we going to make sure that our employees stay bought into our culture, our company, and what we stand for? A few things that we need to incorporate in the experiential stage is constant learning and development, not just when it comes to their technical skills, but also when it comes to their personal development. Employees today want to know that you care about them and not just about the job. The experiential phase is also where the coaching and the mentorship happens. Are we providing opportunity for your team members to sit with their leaders and learn, to grow, to see the potential of where they can be in an organization? The experiential phase is also where the feedback comes in within an organization. I cannot tell you how many companies we work with that don't provide consistent performance reviews and evaluations. Team members want to know, how are they doing? And if they're not doing great, what can they do to grow and learn so they can stay committed to the organization? The experiential phase is also critically important for your leaders. Have you created a system for your leaders to grow? Because at the end of the day, your leaders are the ones that are going to be trickling down and influencing and impacting your employees. The experiential phase is critical. Again, I really encourage you to think about your company as a product. You're providing a service and a product to your consumers and your buyers, but you're also providing an energy, a culture, and a service to your employees. And if they're not happy with the product, they will leave, costing you a lot of time, money, and energy. And phase number 3, the most important phase of the culture mapping phase for Rise Up For You, is the accountability phase. Now that you've created your systems around values, now that you've created your system around the employee experience, who's going to be accountable to these systems and these processes so that your culture can be sustainable and can be maintained even when times of uncertainty? All 3 of these steps are going to need strategy, action plan, processes put in place so that there's consistency when it comes to hiring and your values, so that there's consistency when it comes to growing and giving feedback to your team. And more importantly, so that there's consistency around who is going to be implementing and maintaining these strategies. We have plenty of case studies of great success with organizations where our team goes in and helps them build a fantastic culture, teaching leadership, teaching communication, teaching strategy around their people. But the companies, unfortunately, that haven't done so well are the ones that are missing that third component of accountability. And when our partnership ends or when we leave, it all falls apart and we get a call back that says we need more help. Creating a culture of accountability and creating a system of ownership is going to be critical to a culture that lasts and that thrives. My name is Natalina Nasri, and again, I'm the CEO and founder of Rise Up For You. If you need additional support, don't be afraid to reach out. Head over to riseupforyou.com, sign up for a free culture call, and my team and I will hop on and see how we can help you and your team thrive. I'll see you next time.